Hello students, my name is Miss Hikmah from Edufund Learning Center. In this video, I'll be going through the answers for the 2024 P5 mock test, paper 1, booklet B. Alright, let's get into the video. Question 16, 912,912 written in numerals is? Okay, so this is how it will look like. So let's look at this breakdown here. Let's break this down. Okay, so we look at it part by part. The first part is 912,000. So when they say 912,000, you know that definitely, okay, after this 1,000 here, there should be a few other numbers afterwards, correct? So this is the first part here. 912,000. So the second part is 912. Okay, so after the first 912,000, then you have the 912. Okay, and then it ends there. So this is the answer. Right, next question. Question 17. What is the value of 1 minus 2 over 3 plus 1 over 9? Okay, so some students in this question, what I have noticed is that there were some careless mistakes whereby you mislook this part here, okay? So it is not 1 minus 2 over 3 minus 1 over 9. So this is a careless mistake. All right, so what do you do here when you want to add or subtract your fractions? Okay, firstly, you have to ensure that the denominator is the same, right? Okay, so how do we do that? So this denominator here, 3 and 9, what you can do is, what are the common multiples of 3 and 9? So 3, okay, when you multiply by 3, you get 9. And then don't forget, when you multiply the denominator, you should multiply the numerator as well, right? So 2 over 3 becomes 6 over 9, right? And then 1 over 9 remains the same. Now what about 1? So 1 here is a whole number, right? So 1 becomes 9 over 9, right? So then you can add or subtract your fractions properly once you have ensured that the denominators are the same. Okay, so 9 minus 6 plus 1, okay, you get 4 over 9. Right? This is your answer. Okay, question 18. Given that ST is the midpoint of SP, so SP is here, ST is here. Find the area of rectangle PQRS. Okay, rectangle PQRS. If the total shaded area is 6 centimeters squared. So these are the shaded areas. When you add them up, it becomes 6 centimeters squared. Right? So how do we solve this question? If you notice here, both of the shaded areas, they are actually half of one small rectangle, right? So this is exactly half, okay? Since you know that ST is the midpoint. And then this one is also exactly half, right? Because it is cut here directly. Okay? So we can say that 2 halves of one rectangle is 6 centimeters squared. Or you can also say that, okay, since you know that these two are exactly halves of the same small rectangle, you know that definitely these two areas are the same. Okay, so what you can do is you can do 6 centimeters squared divided by 2, okay, which is 3. Okay, so one shaded area is 3 centimeters squared, right? So what they want to find out is the area of rectangle PQRS, which is this whole thing here. So you know that 2 halves of a rectangle is 6 cm. two halves make one whole, right? So if you have three small rectangles here, okay, all you need to do is 6 times 3, you get 18 centimeters square, right? That's your answer. Okay, next question. Question 19. A piece of rope is cut into 2 parts in the ratio of 3:2, okay? The ratio of 3:2. If the shorter part measures 20 centimeters, how long is the original piece of rope? Okay, so which one is the shorter part? Which one is the shorter ratio? Obviously, between 3 and 2, the shorter one would be 2, right? So what they are saying here is 2 units is 20 centimeters. All right, so 2 units is 20, and then 1 unit is 10 cm. How do you get that? 20 divided by 2, right? You get 10. Okay, so they want to know how long is the original piece of rope. The original piece of rope is before it was cut into 2 parts, right? So those 2 parts are 3 and 2 units. So 3 plus 2 is equals to 5. So 5 units is 50 cm. Okay, so this is your answer. Next question. Question 20. The following figure is not drawn to scale. WXYZ is a trapezium. Okay, this is a trapezium. WX is parallel to ZY. Find angle M. Okay, so based on what they have given us here, we can find out that ZXW, which is here, ZXW is equals to 180 minus 62 minus 48. You get 70. Why am I allowed to do that? Is because both angles, okay, both of these two angles are total 180 degrees. Let me write that down here for you. So angle ZYX, okay, plus angle YXW, it is equals to 180 degrees, right? So 180 minus 62 minus 48, you get this angle. Okay, so you want to identify angle M. So this is perfect. You have a triangle here. So angles in a triangle, right? Let's write it down here. Angles in a triangle is equals to 180 degrees, right? So all you have to do is 180 minus 43 minus, okay, minus the 70 here, right? Then you will get 67 degrees. This is your answer, right? Okay, question 21. Miss Lee paid $18 for the 9% GST, which means that the GST that she paid is $18 on some stationery. How much did the stationery cost before GST? Okay, so when it comes to GST, we know that if this is the original price of the goods, of the items, okay, which is always at 100%, this is the original, the GST, okay, adds on another 9%, right? So the total cost of the items after GST becomes 109%. All right, please keep that in mind. Okay, so we know that 9% is $18. Okay, so 1%, so we divide 18 divided by 9, you get 2. And then remember, they want to know the cost of the stationery before GST. So before GST, okay, remember, you don't want to add the GST here. So it is 100%. Okay, so 100% is $2 times 100, you get $200. All right. Next question. Question 22. Express 9.08 as a mixed number in its simplest form. What is a mixed number? Mixed number is, okay, oops, sorry. Mixed number is when you have a fraction and also a whole number, okay? So, whole number and also a fraction, okay? For example, 3 wholes, 1/2. This is a mixed number, okay? Is this a mixed number? No, 7/2 is not a mixed number. This is an improper fraction. Okay? Right. So 9.08 as a mixed number in its simplest form. So we know that 9 whole here is the whole number. So now we need to focus on the fraction. So 0.08. Okay, let's extract that. Let's separate them. So 0.08 is equals to, okay, when you see that, so this is a decimal, right? So when you see that there are 2 decimal places, you can tell that the denominator is 100. Why? Because there are 2 zeros in 100, and then there are 2 decimal places here. Okay? If the number was, for example, this is an example, if the number was 0.081, therefore, okay, the fraction would be 81 over what? How many decimal places are there? There are 1, 2, 3 decimal places. Therefore, the denominator will be 1000. Why? Because there are 3 zeros here. Got it? Okay. So we now have the fraction, right? Which is 8/100, but we need it in the simplest form. So let's simplify 8/100. What we can do is we can divide by 4. So 8 divided by 4, we get 2. 100 divided by 4, we get 25. And I cannot simplify this fraction anymore. So that is your final answer. All right? Okay, next one. Question number 23. Susan poured 9 cans of juice into an empty container. Okay, let's highlight. Empty container, 9 cans of juice. Each can contains 330 milliliters of juice. How many liters of juice was poured into the container? So take note of the units, right? In this question here, you have 2 types of units. You have milliliters and you have liters. So don't make the careless mistake here, okay, of using the wrong units in your answer or in your working. All right? So basic unit conversion, 1 liter is 1000 milliliters, or the other way around, 1 milliliter is 0.001 liters. Okay? So 9 cans of juice were poured into the empty container. So 330 ml times 9. You can do your calculation at the side. Okay, 9 times 0 is 0. 9 times 3, 27. Okay, 9 times 3, 27. 27 plus 2, 29. Okay, so this is 2970 ml. However, the final answer wants us to put it in liters, right? So let's do our conversion. 2970, okay, divided by 1000, you get 2.97 liters. Okay, this is your final answer. Next, question 24. A rectangular tank measuring 40 cm by 30 cm by 20 cm is half filled with water. Find the volume of water in the tank. Okay. So the formula for volume is length times breadth times height, right? Which is the formula for volume. Okay, so 40 times 30 times 20, you get 24,000 milliliters. But you want to find the volume of water in the tank, okay, which this question says that it is half filled with water. So all you need to do is divide it by 2, right? So 2,400 divided by 2, you get, oh, sorry, not 2,400. 24,000 divided by 2, you get 12,000 milliliters, okay? Next question, question 25. Ghazali scored 96 marks, 88 marks, and 92 marks for his English, Mathematics, and Malay subjects for CA2. What was his average score for the 3 subjects? Okay, so how do you calculate average? Okay, you must add on all of this, okay, and then you divide it by the number of items that you have. So what are the different items that you have? English, Maths, and Malay, right? So there are 3 subjects here. So divided by 3. Okay? So 96 plus 88 plus 92, you get 276. To find the average of these 3 subjects, you have to divide by 3. So you get 92. This is your answer. Question 26. The following figure is not drawn to scale. A, B, C, D is a rhombus. So this is your rhombus. So when they say that this is a rhombus, you know that, okay, these are parallel lines. These are parallel to each other, right? Therefore, these 2 angles are the same. And then these 2 angles are the same, right? Next, DB and DE are straight lines. So DB and DE is here. EFD is a right angle triangle. EFD is your right angle triangle, which means that they have a right angle inside this triangle. So right angles are 90 degrees, right? Given that angle DAB is equals to 122 degrees, okay, and angle DEF is here, which is 80 degrees, find angle EDB. Okay, let's get into it. So based on the clues that you have received from the question here, okay, we know that angle ADB is equals to 180 minus 128. Okay, so 180. So remember, why do we do that? It is because these 2 angles here equals to 180, right? These 2 angles here is equals to 180. These 2 angles here are equals to 180. Okay, so 180 minus 128, you get something. Okay, then you divide that by 2. So once you divide it by 2, you get 26. So 26 here. This is 26. This is also 26. So question 26. The following figure is not drawn to scale. A, B, C, D is a rhombus. So this is your rhombus. So when they say that this is a rhombus, you know that these are parallel lines, right? These 2 are parallel to each other. Then DB and DE are straight lines. So these 2 are straight lines. Then EFD is a right angle triangle. So EFD is here. Right angle triangle means that inside the triangle, you have one right angle here. So when they say a right angle, you know that this is 90 degrees. Given that angle DAB is 128 and angle DEF is 80, find angle EDB. Okay. So from the clues that we have received from the question, we can identify what is angle ADB over here. Okay, how can we do that? Firstly, okay, 180 minus 128. Why do we do that? This is because you know that this angle plus this angle is equals to 180. This angle and this angle is equals to 180. This angle and this angle is equals to 180. This angle and this angle is equals to 180. Okay? So to get this whole angle here, what you have to do is 180 minus 128. You get 52. Okay. However, to get this side here, okay, which is exactly half of this rhombus, half of this angle here, okay, so you have to divide by 2. So 52 divided by 2, you get 26. So this is 26. This is also 26. This is also 26, right? Because it is exactly half of this whole angle. Okay. Next, angle FDE. Where is angle FDE? Angle FDE is here. Okay. Angle FDE is equals to 90 minus 80. You get 10. So this is 10. 10 degrees, right? Because angles in a triangle is equals to 180 degrees. So this is 90, this is 80, then this is 10. Okay, so last step, angle EDB. Okay, we know that this half here, okay, this half here is 26 degrees. So you have already identified this angle here, which is 10 degrees. So all you need to do is 26 minus 10, you get 16 degrees, right? This is your final answer. Okay, next question, question 27. George used a piece of ribbon 4.2 meters long to tie up 3 presents, J, K, and L, and he had 24 cm of the ribbon left. For present K, he used 20 cm, more than present J, but it was 20 cm less than present L. What length of the ribbon was used to tie up present J? Okay, so remember in this question, there are 2 different units. Okay, so don't make the careless mistake of confusing these 2 units here. Okay, so personally for me, to make my life easier, I will just draw a model. Okay, so that I can visualize this question better. Okay, so these are the 3 presents that I have. So remember, the whole thing is 4.2 meters long, which is, okay, 420 centimeters. So I remove the leftover ribbon length. So 420 minus 24, I get 396 cm. So we are playing with 396 cm to tie up these 3 presents. Okay? So in my model here, okay, let's look at the first statement. For present K, he used 20 cm more than present J. So I draw this first. Present K, okay, 20 cm more than present J. Next, however, this present K is 20 cm less than present L. So L is larger than K, right? So L is also 20 cm more than K. And then since we already know this is 20, so let's just do this. Okay. Next step. So this is 20, this is 20, this is 20. Okay, and then we can say, okay, some students might also do this. This is completely fine. Okay, you can say that this is 1 unit, this is 1 unit, this is 1 unit, because these are completely equal, right? Okay, so what you can do is 396 minus 20, minus 20, minus 20, you get 336 cm. So you want to know how many cm is 1 unit, right? So 336, so this is actually, 336 is actually your 3 units, correct or not? Right? Then 336 divided by 3 is 112 cm. So this is your 1 unit. So they are asking you what length of the ribbon was used to tie up present J. So present J, just nice. Present J is just 1 unit. So this is your final answer. Okay. All right. Next question. Question 28. The mass of a tin of cookies is 3/4 kg. Okay. After tin of cookies is 3/4 kg. So which means that the tin plus the cookie is 3/4 kg. After 100 grams of the cookies is removed, okay, removed from the tin, the mass of the remaining cookies is 550 grams. Mass of the remaining cookies is 550 grams more than the empty tin. What is the mass of the empty tin? Okay, same thing. In this question also, I can draw a model so that I can visualize better. Okay, so firstly, I break down my first statement here in this question, which is 3/4 kg. So maybe using fractions might make it harder for you to do your calculation. So 3/4 kg is simply 750 grams, right? So this, I draw the model here. So there are two parts to this model. You have your empty tin, okay? And then you have the weight of your empty tin, and then you have the weight of your cookies. And then total is 750 grams, okay? After 100 grams of the cookies is removed from the tin, so I remove 100 grams. The remaining cookie is 550 more than the empty tin. So I must ensure that it is 550 more than the empty tin. Okay, so they're asking you what is the mass of the empty tin. So I don't know the mass here. I also don't know the mass here, right? Okay, so my next step is 750 minus 100 minus 550. I get 100. So technically, this is, you can also say that this is 1 unit and this is 1 unit, right? So technically, this 100 here, you can say that this is 2 units. Okay, and then 100 divided by 2 is equals to 50, which is also your 1 unit. And then just nice, okay, the mass of the empty tin is also 1 unit. So therefore, this is your final answer. Okay, all right. Next question. One-fifth of a tank was filled with water. Okay, when Judy poured 3 liters of water, 300 milliliters of it overflowed. How much water was there in the tank at first? Okay, so keep in mind that this tank already was filled with water, right? It already has 1/5 of water inside the tank. So when Judy poured 3 liters of water, which is equivalent to 3,000 milliliters, okay, 300 milliliters of it overflowed. So 3,000 minus 300. Okay, you want to take away the amount that overflowed, you get 2,700 milliliters. Okay, which is also 4/5 of the tank. Why 4/5 of the tank? Because it already has 1/5 of the tank filled with water. Okay, so this is the remaining volume of the tank available, right? So 2,700 is equals to 4/5 of a tank. 1/5 of a tank is equals to 2,700 divided by 4, you get 675 milliliters. Remember, don't get your units confused. Okay, so the question is asking you how much water was there in the tank at first. Okay, just nice. 1/5 of the tank is 675 milliliters. So this is your answer. All right. Last question. Johan took 1 hour to paint 1/6 of a wall. Okay. Paul took half an hour to paint 1/12 of the same wall. How long would they take to paint the same whole wall if they were to do it together at the same starting time? Okay, so let's list down whatever we know from the question. We know that Johan, okay, he takes 1 hour to paint 1/6 of the wall. Paul takes half an hour to paint 1/12 of the wall. So how long does Paul take to paint the same amount of wall? Okay, so 1/12 times 2, you get 2/12, which is 1/6 of the wall. So you want to know how much, okay, how long he takes to paint the same amount of wall. So 1/12 times 2, and then half an hour times 2 also, which is 1 hour, right? So Paul takes 1 hour to paint 1/6 of the wall. Okay, which is coincidentally the same amount of time that Johan takes, right? So if they were to paint the wall at the same time together, in 1 hour, both of them would have painted 1/6 plus 1/6, you get 1/3, 1/3 of the wall together. Okay, so in 1 hour together, the two of them, they combine power, they would paint 1/3 of the wall together. So how long would they take to paint the whole wall? So if 1/3, okay, 1/3 of the wall is 1 hour, therefore to get 3/3 of the wall, okay, you have to times 3, right? So you get 3 hours. So this is your final answer. Okay. All right. This is the end of paper 1 booklet B. Thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye.